What is up, Karatics? Welcome to the off-road capability testing video for the Mammoth Patriot stretch. This is an update to my off-road capability testing series where I've tested the majority of off-road capable vehicles in GTA 5 Online. I will leave the link to a playlist down below in the pinned comment where you will find all the other vehicles I have done already, so you can compare. Please keep in mind that this vehicle is in the SUVs class, but I still test certain off-road capable ones so you can compare the raw data between other vehicles. Before we start, if you have any questions as to how each obstacle is scored, please refer to the tutorial video which is linked at the top of the description. Also remember that the most updated spreadsheet with all of the off-road capable vehicles I have tested so far will be linked in the description as well, along with other brands. The following points for each obstacle will be out of 10 possible points. Again, if you have any questions as to how each obstacle is scored in full detail, please refer to the tutorial video which is linked at the top of the description. Starting off with the incline test from a flat surface, the Patriot stretch has very poor torque and it gets a 3 out of 10. In stage 2 of the test, where it's tested on an angled position, it just barely squeezes into a 2.5 out of 10. If we take both those scores, we get an average of 2.75 for the incline test. Next we have the dirt incline test. The Patriot stretch has below average combination of off-road traction and torque. Nonetheless, it still makes it to the top, which gives it a 10 out of 10. Dirt braking is one of the worst I've seen. The brakes on the Patriot stretch are very poor even when driving normally. Nonetheless, it does stop eventually. It gets a 1 out of 10. Rock crawling for the Patriot stretch, as you might imagine, is not ideal, to say the least. Through all 3 obstacles, it bottoms out a total of 5 times, which gives it a 5 out of 10. In stage 2 of this test, which is subjectively scored, despite its long wheelbase, it pulls pretty well and definitely surprised me. It gets a 7 out of 10. If we take both those scores, we get an average of 6 out of 10. Powertrain is decently good. It is slightly above average with traction loss mainly from the driver's side rear wheel and passenger side front wheel. It gets a 6 out of 10. Next up we have bumper clearance. It has excellent bumper clearance, not scraping at all, which gives it a 10 out of 10. Suspension travel is average. According to the markers, it gets a 6 out of 10. High speed stability is surprisingly very good. It gets an 8 out of 10. Next up we have deep water testing. In stage 1, it makes it to the end, which gives it a 10 out of 10. In stage 2, which is the deeper side, it makes it to the end, which gives it a 10 out of 10. If we take both those scores, we get an average of 10 for the deep water test. And finally, we have the dirt acceleration test. This path is exactly a quarter-mile long. Using the handbrake launch, it gets a brutally slow 17-second quarter mile, which is one of the slowest I have tested. This gives it a 3 out of 10. Added all together, and the off-road capability score is 62.75 out of 100. Now you might be wondering how the regular Patriot performs, so I went ahead and tested it as well. Here is the data from the regular Patriot, and you can compare it here against the Stretch. As you can see, the regular Patriot beats the Stretch by 5 points. These scores place them here in 3rd and 4th place out of the SUV category vehicles I have tested so far. Now, if we compare them to all the vehicles I have tested so far from all the classes, that places them here in 20th and 15th place. Keep in mind that these positions will change as I test more manufacturers and newer cars release. All in all, the Patriot Stretch is slightly above average when it comes to off-roading, not very surprising. Now the regular Patriot, on the other hand, is surprisingly very good. It just lacks the power to get it up there with the better off-road vehicles. Well, that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you'd like to see other videos on the other vehicles I have tested so far and how the Patriots compare to all the other vehicles, I will link the playlist down below, as well as the spreadsheet link, which will contain the most updated breakdown and scores for all the vehicles in one place. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.